This video is brought to you by Gamersubs. Use code MayorHairBear at checkout for 10% off your next order. We're back on that Lego grind and I'm not quite done with my time in Middle-earth just yet, so today we're going to be getting the Platinum Trophy for Lego The Hobbit. Now, I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings, if that wasn't obvious at this point, and I am someone who really enjoys the Hobbit trilogy as well. Nowhere near the level as Lord of the Rings, but I do enjoy watching them, and I do so at least once a year. However, Lego The Hobbit doesn't include all three movies, and instead we're just going to be playing through An Unexpected Journey and Desolation of Smaug. Luckily, they're the best ones anyway. Battle for the Five Armies is not included and was supposed to be added to the game as DLC. This game is almost a decade old at this point, so I'm sure you can guess what happened to that promise. I've never played Lego The Hobbit before, so who knows how the game is, but I am happy to be back in Middle-earth yet again. If you do end up enjoying the content, be sure to like the video, comment below some Lego Platinums you'd like to see me attempt next, subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and go over to twitch.tv/MayorHairBear if you want to see some of these Platinum journeys live. Now, we may be playing Lego The Hobbit, but this Platinum journey is very much to be expected. Much like every Lego Platinum experience, our first step is to simply play through the story and experience the two films Legoified. And this will unlock us 16 trophies for completing each level as we make our way from the Shire all the way back to Erebor to face off against Smaug. That's 16 guaranteed trophies, 17 if we include completing the rather lackluster bonus level compared to Lego Lord of the Rings. However, as always, I did unlock just a couple more trophies along the way for collecting 99 of any loot. What the? Collect 99 of any loot? Oh, hell yeah. That was easy. And earning 150,000 studs from completing instruction builds. Master Builder, let's go. And that's step 1 complete. So, what's the next step? Well, do it all again, of course. Each level has 10 mini-kits, a mithril instruction manual, 4 treasure items to find and collect, and to reach Master Burglar in each level for hitting a certain amount of studs collected. Most of these parameters, Master Burglar, is pretty simple to do in story mode. You can only complete in free play with the entire character list at your fingertips. And by entire character list, I mean a list that looks impressive until you realize way too many characters keep repeating just with a subtext next to their name. Now, I've been made aware that I may do things a little backwards, as I've heard quite a few people say they go for the open world completion before heading back to the levels, but here's why I do it this way. You are going to need the mithril instruction manuals and the 4 treasure items in each level to complete the open world anyway. The mini kits are literally pointless and look like arse in these newer games. Hashtag bring back dope mini kits. But hey, tradition I suppose. What the f is that? Minikit. What the minikits used to make used to be so cool. Anyway, for me, I'd rather complete one thing and move on to completing the next than go back and forth between both. That's just how my brain works. So onto free play we went. Not before snagging a quick trophy for transforming into Bane's bear form. Transformed into the bear. Born again. That's dope. Much like the open world completion, we aren't going to get a lot of trophy reward while making our way through free play, but thankfully the levels are surprisingly quick to find all the collectibles. Or I've been playing too many Lego games, either or, but if you do miss out on a collectible, don't fret because Lego The Hobbit has a chapter select for the levels. Hallelujah! Anyway, we made our way through all 16 levels once again, unlocking the trophies for obtaining all the Master Burglar titles, collecting all treasure items in levels, and collecting all the epic mini kits on offer. And just like that, step 2 was done and dusted. Time to move on to the third and final step, completing the open world and ultimately obtaining 100% completion. To complete the open world, we'll need to complete quests, find and collect mithril bricks, red bricks, characters, and more instruction manuals to then forge said item. Lego The Hobbit's open world is absolutely jam-packed with content, so much so that it took me 12 hours to complete the story mode and 100% levels in free play, and 15 hours to 100% the open world. There's a lot to do, and I'll be honest, at times it can feel a little overwhelming when you keep completing quests and boom, another pops up across the map. But just like in Lord of the Rings, we began our journey in the Shire and off we went through to Erebor. I made sure this time to keep an eye out for the miscellaneous trophies along the way, which was a lot simpler to do anyway when you have trophies like completing the mining minigame perfectly 50 times. There we go, wealth lies in the earth. Trust me, you'll need plenty of loot in this game, so this is a gimme. Created a custom character, which a few quests will require you to do anyway. Who is this horrid creature? Dazzling 50 enemies with Gandalf's staff ability. Interesting choice of words, feels like dazing is what they meant. Conjurer, cheap tricks. Used every dwarf from Thorin's company in a buddy up attack, which I think is a bit buggy. I know I used every dwarf multiple times before the trophy actually popped, but hey, we got there in the end, and used 50 buddy up attacks in total. Team building, yes! And bros before gold. Now the first collectible I wanted to knock off the list was to collect all remaining schematics. There's 16 in the levels and 16 in the open world, and we need these to create the items needed for red bricks and some more miscellaneous trophies to boot. You can't create everything until you collect all 250 mithril bricks, but we can chip away at them along the way, making sure to perfectly forge each one for a trophy later. Initially, all my focus on forging was items that would let me purchase the stud multipliers, the mithril mushroom crown, mithril rhythm stick, and mithril dance boots. I put the mushroom crown on Thorin and equipped the dazzling wig, rhythm stick, and dance boots to unlock 2 more trophies, as well as a fire song, Dawn of the Mushroom King, Lord of the Prance. Oh my god. And not long after, I finally managed to collect all the schematics in the game. Laboring in the villages of men. But it was from this point that the trophies well and truly dried up, as the remaining trophies were all to do with collecting or completing all of something. And again, there is a lot to do here, and most of it is connected to each other. Like for instance, collecting all the mithril bricks. You can find them in the open world, but you also unlock some by completing quests, so you have to complete most of the quests to get all the mithril bricks, and without the mithril bricks you can't forge all the items, and without the items you can't complete all the red brick quests. So basically, we weren't going to unlock any more along the way trophies, and instead just buckled down, completed every quest I could, purchased all the epic characters that I definitely used as they came up, found and collected all the mithril bricks to then craft as many items as possible to then complete more quests. Seriously, there's a lot of quests, and not just hand over the level treasure items, like escort missions, hide and seek, boss battles, gimme loot, puzzles. It's surprisingly varied, and while I think maybe a little too stupid at times, at least it mixed it up because again, 15 hours it took me to complete my adventure. But once the first domino finally fell, the rest soon followed as we collected all the mithril bricks. Last mithril, the greed of the dwarves. Which let us forge all the mithril treasures, perfectly might I add, by hitting the button when it gets to the middle for a separate trophy. Should be 2 trophies.
You've done this before, haven't you?
Objects of great beauty. A unequaled skill of the dwarves, nice. Which in turn let us complete all the red brick quests. Ever the people's champion. And finally, with the purchase of some random guard, collected all characters and achieved 100% completion. The Dale Soldier, very iconic. To be continued, and it never was. And quite a merry gathering. Would have been cool to get the platinum here, but we still had work to do, first of which was the usually dreaded 10 billion studs trophy, where you need all the stud multipliers active, and carefully planning to not leave yourself a grind at the end. Thankfully, Lego The Hobbit has a few very simple stud grinding methods, so even though I had 8 billion studs left to get, it took maybe 10 minutes of walking down to this spot where there is a 10,000 stud, use all my stud multipliers, and walk back and forth to infinitely spawn this one stud. Do this for 10 to 15 minutes and boom. 10 billion studs is yours. And we're close. 2 more? 1 more? 10 billion. I was gonna say, excuse me. And we're left with one more trophy. Playing a level in co-op. Huh? Here's the thing, maybe I was a little paranoid, but Lego The Hobbit is one of the most glitch-filled Lego games I've experienced. Falling through the map, getting launched into space, quests not loading, objectives not spawning. What the What happened? It's a risky platinum to pursue because the game can you. And usually from my experience with glitchy games is co-op can ruin some trophies, and hence why I saved it for last. So I plugged in the second controller, selected the easiest and quickest level in the game to awkwardly play by myself, which by the way, felt oh so sad to do as I sat in a dark room playing split screen by myself, and finally Lego The Hobbit's platinum trophy was mine. Someone to share in an adventure. Road goes ever on. So after 27 hours in total, 8 hours better than the guide might I add, what did I think of Lego The Hobbit's Platinum and the game in general? As for the game itself, honestly, I was really surprised with how much I enjoyed my time with this game. It's definitely not perfect with numerous bugs, levels that feel like padding. I mean, did Bilbo's house need to be a level? A bit too much silliness at times, feeling so far gone from The Hobbit, and yet it was time that seemed to just fly by. The platinum is what we expect at this point with Lego games. As always, I do wish the story mode felt more integral to the completion percentage rather than a thing to check off before the completion begins, to avoid it all from feeling needlessly repetitive at times. But even with that being said, once again, I had so much fun in this game and exploring Middle-earth. Going from the Shire to Erebor, exploring new locations, solving puzzles, searching for loot. There's just something satisfying about 100%ing a Lego game, and even though I enjoy the Hobbit films, I'll be honest, I didn't expect much from this game, and it really surprised me. If you're a fan of Lego and more Middle-earth action, Lego The Hobbit is definitely worth your time. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry for the delay in content to start the year, but it feels good to be back in the swing of things. Make sure if you did enjoy the video to leave it a like because it helps let me know that you enjoyed yourself. Comment below some more Lego games you want to see get platinum next. Thank you to all my channel members for that extra level of support, and special thanks to those in the Bear Club, G&T Papu, Jackie White, Nugget, Darkwolf, Daniel Fitzgerald, Scott Unwin, and Steel Vanguard. It really does mean a lot to me. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Go give my socials a follow if you fancy at MayorHairBear. Join the Discord server to have a chat. Go and chuck me a follow on Twitch if you want to see some of these platinum journeys live, or MayorHairBear VODs if those pesky time zones don't line up for you. And I'll catch you all in the next video.